Greetings and salutations. Welcome to ChetFlux News. I'm your host, ChetFlux. Today we continue our coverage of the Sparkman Yugitube Dueling Tourney. I mustn't go any further without first thanking our sponsors, Orica Shop, Aster's World, Top Sleeves TCG, and Game Day Toys and Games. Thanks of course also to Sparkman for organizing this event. We have been following CrossFlux's feeble attempts at making progress in this tournament. Surprisingly, he has been doing alright, but for week 5 he's facing a tough duelist. Misused has more than enough skill to put CrossFlux in his place. Here's hoping he does so. Our duelists are bringing bugs and dinos respectively. Jeez, really? Bringing bugs to a dino fight is like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Game 1 begins with CrossFlux going first. He opens 2 bricks, which is certainly suboptimal. Opening with the Gold Sark to hopefully bait out an Ash Blossom early, but I don't think Ash can actually stop that. The effect goes through, meaning Resonance Insect is going to foolish a bug. And now for something completely different. Rite of Aramesser brings forth a token, but CrossFlux is forced to manually activate the Fateful Adventure himself. When he attempts to activate its effect, down comes the Ash Blossom. According to CrossFlux's deck profile, ashing the Adventurer engine stuff isn't a problem. My, I bet he feels silly right now. With his back against the wall, there's only one play CrossFlux can make. Banishing the previously dumped insect, he drops the Assault Roller, converts the token into a Link Spider, and turns them both into Anaconda. Ah, relying on degeneracy, are we? And I thought you had standards as a duelist. Then again, this is coming from the guy who spammed Mystic Mine last week. Ending on a DPE, with a Ghost Ogre in hand, CrossFlux is going to have to hope that 2 interruptions will stop Misused. Well, with a hand like his, good luck. Beginning his first turn with the terraforming, CrossFlux sees the Lost World being searched. He doesn't have much experience with dinos, but he knows he doesn't want to be clogged with crappy tokens. Upon activation of the field, CrossFlux shotguns the DPE pop. This is fine for Misused, as he simply continues his plays. Normal summoning his Oviraptor, he attempts to search a dino. CrossFlux Ghost Ogres here to get the dino off the field. But of course, Misused still gets his search. Despite not accomplishing much in the grand scheme of things, this probably was the correct play, seeing as how Misk was searched, meaning that if CrossFlux had waited to use Ghost Ogre on, say, the UCT, Misk would have prevented that. That being said, UCT does come down, thanks to steroids. Misused flips the DPE, drops his own copy, and proceeds to dominate CrossFlux. There's one chance for CrossFlux to mount a comeback, but DPE snuffs that in the bud by popping the Fateful Adventure before he begins his turn. CrossFlux begins his second and final turn of the game by using Dasher to quickly put a Retaliating Sea on board. It's not like it mattered if he used his normal summon here or not. Point is, his hand is now empty, so he uses Celestial to draw 2. Picking up another Rite and a Called By, he might have something here. Equipping the token with the Draco back could allow CrossFlux to remove one of the threats. In response, Misused attempts to flip all of his opponent's monsters. CrossFlux responds further with his Called By, banishing another UCT that was just chillin' in its grave. But wait, there's more. DPE chimes in by popping the equipped spell before it can go off. CrossFlux is left with practically nothing, resulting in a victory for Misused. Credit where credit is due, I believe CrossFlux navigated that situation as best he could. Misused simply had the better hand, and that's part of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! This isn't to discredit Misused either. He knew how to use his cards, and he built his deck well. As we know, building one's deck is half the battle. Anyways, Game 2 has already commenced. CrossFlux opted to go second, and Misused begins utilizing his second amazing hand in a row to pop off. Facing no interruption, he's able to go more or less full combo, ending on the same board as in Game 1, but with a few improvements here or there. What can CrossFlux do in this situation? Well, not much when he opens another brick. At this point, I think he should give up dueling, and use his decks to build a house instead. CrossFlux did make a tiny mistake here. Perhaps the stress of facing down such an intimidating field got to him. Starting things off with a free Pank is nice, but for once, he should have shotgunned the effect. Instead, he waits to normal summon the Resonance Insect first, allowing UCT to get more value off of its eclipsing effect. Misused now has a Pank of his own, not to mention the pop left from DPE. His fateful adventure was fated for destruction. CrossFlux is in a sticky situation for sure. Triple tack is used, and there are two possible choices. He could steal the Pank, and use it to wipe out both Linkuriboh and the Oviraptor, but that pesky face down could have something to say about that play. Not only that, but DPE is coming back next turn. CrossFlux decides to draw 2 instead, hoping that his deck will come through for him. He gets a couple extenders, but even these cards can only get him so far. Going into Anaconda again, he wants to force out the Pank pop, which he does. The battle phase sees both of Misused remaining monsters hitting the grave, but here's where CrossFlux's first mistake is coming back to bite him. If his retaliating C was still face up, he could have gone into Seraphim Papillon, giving him just a little more resiliency on the following turn. But let's be real, it wouldn't have mattered. CrossFlux's bugs were squashed by the big feet of Misused Dinos. Bah. That's what you get for being a meta sheep, CrossFlux. Maybe next time you'll leave the big brain plays of Brave Engines and DPE shenanigans to the real duelists. You should stick to those cute little waifus you adore so much. Congratulations to Misused, and good luck to you going forward. CrossFlux is now 3-2 in this tournament, so he's guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. Until next time, this has been ChetFlux News. Everyone, have a blessed day.